we go. So hello, how's it going? But hello, Spot. And obviously, if you're playing Skyrim for that long, you need another version of it. You need to go get the Switch version, obviously. But hello, Reborn. Hello, Sivia. Hello, Phoenix. Hello, Sanosuke. Hope you're all having a good night. Welcome to Bad Voice Acting the Game, Ace Attorney style. Turnabout Succession. We ended last time after the whole endless guitar serenade, I believe. And we are starting on Turnabout Succession. No idea what this one's about. Why not PC version? Because I assumed you were already on the PC version. So you need to get a different version. And then once the Switch version's done, you go to the PS3 version. And then you go to the PS4 version. Because every console has to have it now. Hope it has more guitar. No. Let's go. And that is the whole truth of this case. Oh, okay. Mason system? Are we getting digital? A bullet would give someone a heart attack. Oh, darn it. I thought it was gonna let me actually read those. Never mind. Cards. What about the phone version? Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. We're gonna go to digital world? Those are guns, yeah. Now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Oh, I guess we're on the finale, so welcome to the finale. She die or faint? A lot of people fall down on that stand. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Aren't you dead? No, I guess you're just in jail right now. October 7th. Also, hello, Blood Silver. Hope you're having a good night. Hey, Paul, look on TV. Look, look. I'm, kind of busy. Whoa, look at that. He's the last Grammar E. Grammar E. Alright, amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow, 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 what? What? So is Apollo just living with them now? I was writing about our last case in my journal. I mean my journal. Well, are you supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals? Why now? That case was 3 months ago. That's a good question, Drusy. That is a good question. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of this moment for later. Like that girl vacuum packed herself in that guitar case. He may work there, but I don't know. Kinda seem to be relaxing right now. Right now I'm working the crowd by figuring out how Lemmy disappeared. That's right, Uncle Valent did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. Just getting to the good part. It takes him 3 months to to write all that down. Who knows what his personal life could be like? That's true. Maybe he is actually a rock star. We'll just watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. For 3 months? What is Phoenix doing? What you're seeing now is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth, happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum. Why did I say it in that voice? Hey, that's where the Gavineers concert was. Great, so we go back there. The guitar serenade never ends. Only 3 more days until the miracles happen right here before your unbelieving eyes. Oh, there's 3 of them. The legendary troupe Grammar E is performing for the first time in 7 years. That's going to be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. I mean, maybe. He's kind of not here. Legendary Grammar E. If Drusy's rude followers were still alive, he'd be on the stage performing miracles. I've got tickets and everything. Maybe, but I don't know if Phoenix Wright would really say like, hey, you need to work on these work days. He usually played it by the nose. But he also kind of lived in his office too, as far as we know. I got a ticket. Ah, you're here. Working hard or hardly working? Yep, I knew it. Hey, how have you been? Hey there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I'd want to hear from my own kid. Trucy's here. She'd accept every case, though, I guess. Though he has been gone a long time. How goes it, Trucy? I got a present for you. Yay, pudding. Oh, it's farm fresh. What does that mean? Not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You gotta take it easy with the secrets, you know. How right you are. So you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it's time. It has something to do with you, anyway. With me? Ooh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission, too. Maybe one of those guys. A spy. Can I just be a defense attorney? Trucy? Trucy's a girl. To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? You didn't just come and say hi? That's pretty rude, Phoenix. Tell me, you heard of the Juris system, yeah? The Juris system? That's right. New legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Huh? Maybe? Let me look at my journal. Maybe not as many people talking about as I thought. Juris system, huh? Can I leave? I wasn't finished talking to you, you know. Or rather, you weren't finished asking me questions. I tried to fight it. I can't win. That's pretty great. Thanks for that, Phoenix. It's one of the first times they've given me the move option without letting me move. Juris system. So, what's this Juris system thing? Well, Trucy, do you know what jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that the people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? You know, in actual court? The ones who get to decide the guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the jury system. You know, it's like the old system, the jury system. But this is the new system. So it has a different name. But it's the same as the old system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurists cooperate with the judge. Cooperate. They help analyze the case from different angles. There will be only 6 of them under the current proposal, right? That sounds like it's... In this game, that sounds like people are gonna sneak in somehow. Wow, you know yourself, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully people will start taking courts a little more seriously now, instead of just constantly muttering to themselves and then being called to order. I feel like I'm some kind of educational TV show. Hey Dragon, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. Starring Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright and his assistant Trucy. And Mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Mascot, hey, I'm the one doing all the work here. So what's this secret mission? Juris system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like the system are always risky, Apollo. Put on your boots. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they gotta talk and nothing gets decided. Kinda like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, you are, but also, we're gonna give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be the chair of the Juris System Simulated Court Committee. That's a mouthful. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge in the courtroom. But we only have 2 judges. It's like you have a real job. Hello, OP, how's it going? I think accepting the latter would be the best one, Blood Silver. You know, innocent until proven guilty. Would solve a lot of cases. I was never good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. Trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. Trial simulation, that is. Simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, once the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense in wearing yourself out over something too serious. Okay, so it's not the parrot case. True, case is a murder. That's not simple at all. By simple, did you mean the defendant is... guilty? Yeah, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you. Go for it, Apollo. Just a test case anyway, no sweat. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. Simulation where all jurors are stepladders, or are they ladders? That'll be the choice that they have to make at the end. No guilty or innocent, just are we ladders or stepladders? Hey Mimikyu, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. Now potentially serious sins. Most serious and worst case scenario. I mean the verdict's for real? It's not a test trial. That's a real trial. All the forms have been filed. No turning back now. Trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make the room in your schedule. Why am I only hearing about this now? Also, I don't have a schedule. Oh yeah, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Yeah? Something that happened last night. Talk about Valent, I guess. Hey Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission. How about this? The troop... whatever, magic show. Oh right, sorry, that was just way too many words. They're not card tricks. Ow, 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 what? What's the 3 whole... So what, that's 3 whole days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go today. We can say hi to Uncle Valent for helping us in that case. What? Isn't it Grandma E? It was just too many magic words. Took you 5 tries? Well, I'm glad you at least got it. So, good job. But 9 hours does sound pretty tedious. Sorry to hear that. But you got it, so good job. I can't say it normally, Sivia. I'm sorry. You know I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing. Well, I'll go with her. But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear about it tomorrow, regardless. I don't like that. I don't trust that smile. He knows something he's not telling me. Yippee, now you can take me to the Coliseum. Suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there, even though someone died there. Ah, that reminds me. What's this? Isn't the silk hat the Grandma E seal? Consider it a birthday present, Brucey. Thanks, it's great, but today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day.
Here you go. Really. Buy yourself
Hey, she said my name
nice.
right. It's weird. Thanks for the 35 bits, Blood Silver. It's appreciated. I will try to buy something nice. Maybe a stick of gum. Let's recycle your plastics present. Yippee! So it's plastic. Giving up trying to understand them? It's much easier that way. So, what is it? Can I open it? No. Wow, he's actually serious. You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Like tomorrow at 10 a.m. probably. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. Probably accurate. Why am I holding it? Envelope about the Grandma East, huh? Yeah, that's normal. It's pachinko. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. So what case are you gonna use? Why? Why is that one so quiet? I need to fix that.
Oh hey, I have these. I can be a boss too.
Well, rip Sivia. Rip Sivia, boss. Thanks for the 200 bits, Dragon. Sivia boss died. So what case are you gonna use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm gonna be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yeah, of course. This is just a test. We want everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank slate, as it were, even though I already told you you were, dealing with a guilty client. Difference between having a blank slate and being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you know that badly, I suppose I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good. That's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. How am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. Judge, jury, and executioner right here. You don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo, if I'm in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility, for good or for bad. Just do what you can. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Kind of. He's totally winging it. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. She's totally dead. Nope, time's wasting. Yeah, probably. That's probably normal. It's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 minutes. It took us 20 minutes to get here, too. Maybe I should complain? I'm sure that guard has better things to do than stand there pretending he doesn't see us. Doesn't. He's been there for over 7 years. Over 10 years, probably. You know, the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter," and then they're standing right behind you. "Oh, guard. Is our client going to be much longer?" What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting? Yet? Oh, she's been here the whole time. That's spooky. Where'd you come from? Well, anyway, please have a seat, I guess. Oh, holding a journal? Maybe an art book? I'm nervous, Apollo. The silence, it builds suspense. Why are they letting her keep a book? Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat! That's amazing. Complete oh. She passed out. Well, that's not good. This magic underwear might have been a better bet. That's magic holy, Apollo. Does she get back up and we're not even gonna comment on that? Introductions. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it's been fate, you know? That's not what you wanna open with. And by fate, I mean destiny. Do you know I'm good with astrology? Tell me, what's your sign? Are you trying to defend her or pick her up? I can tell you mine if you'd like, Apollo. No, never mind. I just got carried away there. Seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. Accurate. Your name. So what's your name? Oh, right. Supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice. And I'm Trucy Wright. Kind of. I know. This is getting nowhere fast. Well, she wasn't talking to you, Apollo. Hey, I know. Maybe tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately? Well, the other day, this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions. Later, Trucy. You already told me that story. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. But I think I understand this affair a little better now. You did good, Apollo. Did we? That glove? Yeah, hey, have you come here? You come here often? To the detention center? Look, she's doing her nails. Is that what she's doing? Are nails more important than the defense? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy. You don't want to hire me as your defense attorney. I don't know what's going on. Did she talk? Could you read this? Does she feel like a teenager on a first date? This is the love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. I think he's speaking from experience here. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and address. Name is Vera Misham. Okay. Address is for Drew Studio. So it is an art thing? That or it's named after someone. And you're giving me this card because... Well, looks like we're finished here. Wonder if Drew Studio is the scene of the crime. Let's go find out. We don't know who got murdered yet. Drew Studio. Well, this sure paints a pretty picture. Wow, this looks like a studio. Like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around. Tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Looks like we found our crime scene. Apollo, look at those paintings. Don't touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking. Okay. Huh? Apollo. Look at this one. Looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath. But that's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. Yeah, good point. That is odd. Okay, I guess we have all three of these paintings now. I guess not. He usually is, so he's probably busy. All the paintings have really different style, too. Oh, I thought I might find you two here. Oh, gee. I expected someone else. Wait, him, I'm not allowed to talk to you. Oh? Seems like I run into you far too often. It's been, what, 3 months? Bet I know why you're here, too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh? I'm not really surprised. We don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Mr. Drew Misham. Okay, so it was a name and an art studio. What's the joke here? There's Phoenix. Hi, Phoenix. Hope you have a good night. Misham. And his daughter was put under arrest for killing him. We just saw her at the detention center. Okay, I guess now we know who she is. It was funny, though. It seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning? That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning, a common way to get the job done when the murderer is a woman. Poisoning. Yeah, the Misham part was the one I was concerned about. Well, go to sleep, Phoenix. If you're tired, go rest, or whatever that emote says. Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. But I was still surprised it was you and not, you know, someone else. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here with my snackoos. Can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around. Which means we'd better do find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. Okay, enjoy Nier. So, this Drew Misham was some kind of artist? Apparently. A lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Had a lot of female fans, too, for what it's worth. Oh? Well, I guess his stuff is kind of pretty. Like that oil painting over there, for instance. Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was an odd bird, Misham. Hadn't shown his face to anyone till the end. What do you mean, to anyone? He was always locked up here with the studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he'd put in his letterbox here. If he had a daughter, I'm pretty sure he had a wife. Or, you know, at least a girlfriend. You know, that's how that works. Can't just not have that. People still write letters. What do you mean, Apollo? I mean, when was the last time you wrote a letter? Real letter. Don't most people use email and stuff these days? That's accurate. Not Mr. Misham. Couldn't stand technology, it seems. Did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic. I mean, she could leave him, I guess, but still had a daughter that apparently poisoned him. That was still a connection. I don't know. We'll find out. In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer. The suspect, please. We took some fingerprints, of course. Only ones found in the room were Mr. Misham's and Vera's, basically. Basically. Actually, last night, Mr. Misham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. Happened during an interview, apparently. His first interview ever? Could you tell us more about what happened the night of the murder? I thought we weren't allowed to talk to anybody. Woman Vera. Mr. Misham's daughter, right? Yep, real sickly girl since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. Ah, that makes more sense. I think I kind of gave off this withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. Her good luck charm? Apparently she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Probably that book, I guess. Why can't I ever get a normal client? Why would shut in kill her own dad? Don't look at me. Only thing I kill is calories with these snackoos. About the poison. It was found to be in the coffee, right? No, not precisely. Not precisely. What does that mean? It means see for yourself, I think. On the cup, maybe? Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came to the studio. Guess mysterious painters never go outside and make for good articles. Just so happened that he died the night of the first interview? That is pretty suspicious. Around 9 p.m. every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. He is surprisingly tall. Like, first glance at this picture, it's like he does not give off the impression of being tall because he has that massive hair. But he is surprisingly tall. Drank his usual coffee and then suddenly became violently ill and died? She poisoned him on the night of his interview? Wouldn't reporters see? He wasn't near Mr. Mitchum when she brought her father his coffee. Oh, okay. Guess we have a thing over here. He was checking he was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. You know, to the right. Supposedly that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? Anyone suspicious is the reporter. Yet the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. I want to know more about this reporter. Better not be Lotta Hart. That'd be really awkward. At least we know she wouldn't be the actual murderer, though. There's a painting hidden back here. Well, if it's embarrassing someone, you didn't want anyone to see it. Certainly seemed pleased by the possibility. I guess Lotta's more of a photographer, paranormal photographer than a reporter, but it's been 7 years. It's so normal. Isn't this the other picture he finished? Probably something to get mad about. What is it, Apollo? Doesn't this painting look like... Never mind. I'm gonna get a professional opinion on this. Why'd you say, oh well, is it actually Lotta Hart? That's gonna be weird. Ah, that's the victim's coffee mug. Aha, so the poison was in here. My first time seeing a real poison mug of coffee. I would hope so. Poison coffee? Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in the coffee. You have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side after all. What about this coffee? And his coffee cup was for guests to use. Yes? Did the police already analyze this cup too? Not a trace of poison was found in that cup, but if she didn't know the reporter was here, why would she bring out a guest cup? So the killer was after Drew Misham alone. Wouldn't mind taking a close look at those paintings. We already took a close look at those paintings. Looks like a weird dragon thing. Just love oils. You know how they're so thick? Is that the word? These paints are all dry. I'm just surprised at how different all these are. Yeah, and what's going on with this half-finished one? Must have been a work in progress. You can still see the rough sketch below. That's what's so weird. The sketch part doesn't really fit the finished parts. I noticed. That is weird. Oh, I guess I should examine this part, huh? That's the spot where Mr. Drew Misham passed away. He put the coffee mug to his lips the next moment. Bang! Quite a bit of paint on the ground. See that half-painted painting there? He must have been working on that right up to the moment he died. True artist to the end, huh? Or maybe he started a year ago and was procrastinating. One of the two. Wait, I should look at this too. What letters does he have? Letterbox looks funny sitting in a room like this. Let's take a look. Empty. Other half of that letterbox is actually connected outside the studio. Mr. Masham would put his letters in there, and the postman took them away. Impressive that someone still writes letters in this day and age. Or wrote, rather. You were just commenting on that. What is this guy? Take a closer look at this desk here. Zoom in. I want to look at this guy. Something about the way that figure is posed. I've seen that pose before. It's you, Apollo. See? It's making one of your flamboyant gestures. Wow, harsh. Please, I am a professional. I wonder why it's posed like that. Coincidence? I think not. Denier. The envelope's been opened and resealed. Ooh, I know how to do that. Take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts and it opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh? Postmark of this letter. It's from 7 years ago. Why would someone open a letter then seal it again? Better hang on to this. Oh, okay, I guess we're just gonna steal that. Not make a note of it, no, it's just, I'm gonna hang on to this. So this is Drew Misham. Little girl must be Vera. Yeah, they took that some years ago. They look close. Happy little family of 2. Until you arrested his daughter. And, you know, the father died. Look, I was personally against that, okay? She just didn't seem very suspicious, scientifically speaking. Uh-huh, right. What about this tiny picture? Oh, cute. Look at the tiny frame, Apollo. Tiny is right. I think it's barely 2 inches high. What picture would fit in that? None, apparently. It's empty. No glass in it, either. What's it doing sitting on the desk? The picture must have been stolen. This is a lesson for us all. Be sure to check the size when you buy frames. I mean, I have pictures like that are that small. Is this a journal? Talk about glue, let's read it. What is it, Apollo? He didn't write a name of the killer, did he? It's new. He didn't write a single... Oh, okay. You had me going there for a second. Hey, Apollo, what's this feathery thingy? Isn't that a pen? Like an old-fashioned quill pen? But it doesn't have a pointy end. That was most likely sweeping Detrius off the desk. Wow, you sure know a lot, Emma. Nice, good job, Spot. Bold and scientific, that's my motto. Exactly what about that was bold or scientific? Oops. Wrong one. Is this desk for painting, Apollo? That would be drafting table. Drafting? Basically, it's a tool for making precise diagrams. Wow, painting is harder than I thought. Why would a painter need a drafting table? Was he an architect, too? Well, you need that for, like, character building, I think. What's all this equipment here for? Doesn't look very artistic, really. He had everything from a lathe to a laser cutter. Looks like he was ready to work on metals and wood, too. Though his equipment's a bit old, to tell the truth. Why would a painter need all this? From the dust, I'd say he hadn't used this stuff in years. The quarter doesn't fit with the rest of the studio. Do you think I could borrow this? I want to cut a quarter in half to make a trick coin. This is a crime scene, Trucy. But this costs like $50 at the magic shop. Isn't it also illegal? No, whatever. What's all this equipment here for? Doesn't look very artistic, really. Get everything from that? Oh, same thing. Look at all these paints, Apollo. So many. He's got like 20 kinds of red. We could repaint your suit, Apollo. How about this shade of green? That'll be enough of that, thanks. I wonder if that's foreshadowing. Dang it. Guess all of that in that corner. Oh. Okay, even that part? Really? What about your computer? Okay, never mind. Just goes across the entire room, I guess. Well, I guess I'm done here. No, forensic science. Bet Emma could help us out here. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. Huh? What are you two whispering about? I was thinking. What is it we always do when we run into you at the crime scene? What is it we always do scientifically? Ah, you know me too well. Okay. Okay, meaning we can, scientific now? Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out. Okay. Coffee mug. So, Emma, about this coffee mug. I hope you aren't trying to grill me for information. You know I'm not talking. Suppose you are the detective here. Why don't you take a look yourselves? Find a clue I might not be unwilling to lend a hand. She's gonna help us, Apollo. Let's check out this mug, shall we? Does that say Mum? No, I guess it just says M and then has a weird wiggly line. Like how it still has coffee in it. Whoops! Spilled the coffee, my bad. Sorry, guys. Look there. This stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. Must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. We heard about that? Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably... better ask Emma. So, is it poisoned? Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue, residue on the rim. That. Yes, well, that's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee they call a Blue Mountain. Pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Ah, right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science! I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. What kind of scientific stuff were you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. I also turn blue when I touch poison. I'm always blue. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug? That's right, see? Wasn't the coffee. Killer applied to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing. Certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma would be willing to help us out a bit more. Should try buttering her up, Apollo. Say flattery get you everywhere. Certainly with talking to her about a bit more. About poison analysis. I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test atroquinine? Atroquinine? I don't know. I'm always poison. Atro, huh? Yes, I'm always in contact with poison. Sorry for the Borks. Anyways, the deadly poison found in the autopsy. I know that spark in her eyes. Getting excited, best tread lightly. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time it adjusts for the adverse effects to show. That raises a lot of flags. Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown. That's fine, really. We don't need to know all the gory details. I think I get it. You just spray the stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You could find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try too, Emma. Pretty please. You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Let's give it a whirl, Apollo. What are you doing? I was just seeing if I got a reaction out of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do that again. I'm not poisonous. Tell us to the hapless witnesses on the stand. Get down to the checking the real poison, shall we? I think he meant the gory details of the actual, like, effects of the poison, you know? Are those turning blue or what? Something he would put his mouth on. I need to spam the spray more. Spam it everywhere. Sure, I'm glad we have an endless supply of this. I figured the guy pointing at something would be obvious, but... that seems slightly blue, but I don't think it is. It might just be an issue with the green texturing. You say so. I mean, that's pretty blue. All this paint's pretty blue. That's normal, I guess. I'm not really seeing anything. Unless I already see it and just don't realize it's blue. Nope, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, there's a lot of blue things in here, but nothing I'm seeing turned blue because of the spray. Too bad, no reaction there. Sure, I'm gonna check out all the likely spots. Wait a second. What is it, Apollo? You spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. Spray probably can't reach that far, you know? Probably because we can only move in 2 dimensions. Let's check it out, just to be sure. Okay, so we had to zoom in on the desk. Okay, makes sense. The little picture? Oh, it is on the little picture. Why is it on the little picture? A reaction, Apollo. Where? Where? Inside that cute little frame. Look. Well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that I was the one who found it. Found a tiny frame with poison on it. Why did the inside of that frame have poison on it? Looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. In this area. It's also empty. Weird. Looks like you have to take this back part off first to put a photo inside. It'd be a really small photo to fit in there. True, in that pale bluish stain. Why would there be poison in a place like this? There's one obvious reason? Whoever put poison in the coffee rubbed a bit on there, too. That's not very obvious, Trucy. Like, why would they do that, though? Yes, well, that's a bright red envelope. She sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? My lips are sealed. Your lips are sealed? That's a first. You mean you know what's inside the envelope? Sure, I read it after all. You mean you were the one who ripped this open? Please, I would have steamed it open. But you did sneak a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon at my side. A weapon? Yes, the use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open up big doors. Never heard that one, but it's good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found. I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentoring? Mentioning? Why did I say mentor? You want to know about my tool, do you? It's called an X-ray analyzer. X-ray, like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right. At least that's what I call it. What's it called? It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray specialization? What? Something. How am I supposed to remember all that? Fair enough. Basically lets you see inside things like envelopes. That's right, you're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that. In practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works, scientifically. Can I try it out, Emma, please? Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo. Should use it on me again. Just seeing if I can see through your hair, but it's like lead. Point that thing at me anymore and it might fall off. Or out. Then I wouldn't need an x-ray machine to see through it. Let's just get down to business, shall we? Right, let's test it on a sample first. It so happens I have a lottery ticket here. We're gonna see what's the winner. Set the sample and device like so. How sweet. Patience, there's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen, at the layer view of the envelope. Layer view? Yes, you've got on display the outside of the envelope now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there for me, will you? I didn't do anything. That's right, that's how you choose what depth you want to scan. I got something. See? That's how you can read the letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh? Except, I can't read them. Just turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that the sheet of the paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see the paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Wow, really? X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only 0.05 microns. Breaks cards down to thin layers, so it can only show what's written on that layer. Not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything? That's why we go to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit, if you would. The image? You mean rub the screen? That is a hat. Yep, that fixes the image on the screen. Now turn the dial again, just a little. Then you rub this image to fix it too. Hey, I get it. We keep doing this till we got a whole thing. Exactly, not bad. Let's do some more. Okay. Ow. Does look like a hat, like right here. Not anymore. Now it looks like actual numbers, so that's good. Try again. Aw, she lost. Sad days. So, did I fail? Must have missed something. Ah, missed one right there. There we go. Okay, let's print this one out. Ta-da! Does this mean I have to buy another one to win? Well, it's Emma's ticket. Let her buy another one. It's okay, there's no need. But see, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Let's try it on the real thing, shall we? Like, so she's just okay with letting us know what's on here. This is awkward to do, though. But it's nice to know that everyone seems to have a good idea of what's going on except us. Means we might get some clear answers. Potentially. Oh geez, they had to reprint this, didn't they? Pretty awkward. Okay, let's print this one out. Someone deposited $100,000 into Mr. Misham's account? These paintings must be really valuable. There's another package in there. Care to take a look? You bet I do. If you're gonna read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. I don't know if that's the best mentality to have. But, you know. Here goes with the second page, then. Probably should have actually read that note, huh? Guess I'll try to read this one. But it's very tiny. Go. That just seems tedious. Okay, let's print this one out. Sign the papers and send them... Send the enclosed envelope with the... something stamp in something days. So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Why all the secrecy, though? And what? Why was this letter the only one in there? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it had some special significance to him. Well, Emma? Well, indeed. You know something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime? I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be the witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. Well, now we know it's not a lot of heart. I'll never forgive that face, but what was his name? Oh, right. Rochelle? Rochelle? He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. So a reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and the night he's killed. Seems strange to you? Really strange. Does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today. What does that mean? He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not true, see, that leaves only one other person. It isn't Valant Grandmarie, is it? Yeah, something like that. Got some big show lined up, I hear. He's out interviewing Valant, huh? I'll be heading over to that Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Even though I already promised Drucy I'd go there. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. No, thanks. Spark brush? Guess you gotta have a good business card if you work freelance. Really? What's this? A camera lens finder? Do reporters take photos too? Guess if he's freelance, he'd have to. Maybe you should try being a prosecutor and a defense attorney. You'd always win. Why don't I become a rock star too while I'm at it? I mean... what does that say? Top dollar for information. Is that his face? This does not bode well. Hello, Tri. Thanks for the host. Oh, I was wondering about this painting here. Oh, that one. What about it? What about it? Yeah, what about it, Apollo? Take a closer look at it, both of you. Now look at this one. This is the third painting he was working on. Hey, they're the same. I was hoping you wouldn't find that. You're right, though. Drew Misham was copying this painting. Wow, it's pretty good. Copying a painting. What for? Copying a painting, huh? Weird. About this painting. Oh, that? Quite good, isn't it? That's not what I wanted to ask you about. You want to examine it, is that it? I'd be happy to let you if you had a good reason. But without that, sorry. Guess she wants us to do a little footwork on our own first. Okay. Thanks for the host, Blood Silver. Appreciate it. Well, Sunshine Coliseum, here we come. Woohoo! This is it, Apollo. Place where magic and dreams converge. Let's go say hi to Uncle Valant. What about the case? Wahaha! Ha 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 ha! Only a performer laughs like that. The young Miss Drucy, how often I'd hope we meet again. Only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Uncle Valant, how's it going? Glad to see you too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his strongest traits. Check the background. Okay. Well, Miss Drucy, how's the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck, and congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone is so lucky to witness miracles such as I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing. We get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifini's illusions are reborn. Here on stage, by my hand. Alright, so check the background. What am I looking for? Is it balloon? What's this balloon? Look, Apollo, balloon! Hot air balloon! Grandma-E seal on it, no less. Why? Thanks for the 100 bits. I'm not saying knee, I'm saying E. Where are you getting the knee from yourself? Well, this is a long-awaited revival after all, and it's been 7 years, you know. I spent plenty of time and a pretty penny on promotion. Hope it's a huge success, Uncle Valen. Oh, that. I didn't really read that name, to be honest. I intend for it to be nothing less, I assure you. Magnifi. Oh. Ah, magnifique. I don't know about that, but thanks regardless, Try. Both sure seem excited about it, because it's a big deal for magicians. Change of sign since our last case. Gavineer's back then, wasn't it? Hope nothing bizarre and mysterious happens this time. But it shall! Why? The show itself will be bizarre and mysterious, I assure you. I don't have a problem with mystery as long as it's legal. Fair enough. I don't think lawyers and magicians were really meant to have conversations like this. We talk like this all the time. Big magic show. Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Grandma-E miracle is back after 7 years' absence? Miss Trucy, I must apologize. This show and this honor should have been his. Actual daddy. My co-magician in training, Zach Grandma-E. If that terrible thing hadn't, it's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he was still alive, then I, Valent, would have been proud to stand on the stage as his assistant. Oh, that actually means a lot coming from this guy. Thanks, Uncle Valent. No, I'm happy you're doing the show. To think we get to see the great Magnifi. Yeah, illusion again. Really is looking forward to this, isn't she? That wasn't even a question. My mentor, the great magnificent Magnifi Grandma-E, was a true deity among magicians. He could turn a cat into a hat. A creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that defied our very imaginations. I was so little when I last saw him, but I still remember his shows. Is that the guy on the thing in their office? He did wheelies in a sports car through the air above the audience. What does that mean? And they sped off to outer space faster than the speed of sound. I'm guessing that memory was a little bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world's been waiting for the miracle to match his. An heir to the Grandma-E troop's secrets, it falls to me to provide one. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you, nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you, even though I know your name? The world is waiting. Why did you hold off for 7 years? Appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard of the magic known as law, which governs our land. I have, though I'm not sure that qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnifi's miracle was impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more. How could law prevent magic? Phrase sure likes to pop up, doesn't it? Why is that? A little matter called performance rights, Miss Trucy. Ah. That makes more sense. Can you tell us more about these performance rights? Magnifi's magic relied on an incredibly innovative idea, a trick, if you will. That trick was considered his property and as such was protected by property laws. Intellectual property, maybe. Magnifi knew this and bequeathed it in his will to one person. You mean him? Yes, Miss Trucy, it was your father. Zach Grandma-E was the inheritor of the Grandma-E miracle. Oh, he died. Yet, as you well know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where the story is going. Once a person is classified as missing for a certain period of time, they're considered legally deceased, correct? In absoluteness, the rolled up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time in which you speak is 7 years. Got sent way back? Oh, sorry to hear that. Yes, that, Miss Trucy, though it pains me to say it. This past spring, April to be precise, was the time. Your father was legally declared deceased. In the absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor Magnifi passed to me. This was, in fact, stipulated by the will of Magnifi himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called the death in absentia. He's declared missing, permanently. What do you mean talk to him about? About this. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha! Why, that bears the Gramarye seal. Uncle Valen, something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Oh, he is, suddenly very intense. Am I gonna die? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy? My partner? No, my other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy? Lord Daddy, that's kind of stretching the whole architect thing a bit. I don't know what that word is. The signature upon the back, do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zack Gramarye. What? Might I be so bold as to open it? Sorry, but I can't let you do that. Apparently I'm the one holding this. Okay. What's in this envelope, I wonder? I don't know. Archiac, I think? I think it was Archiac. But I can't read, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, here's a ticket. Ah, a challenge, is it? You want me to make that disappear? Very well, give it to me. Archaic. Oh, okay. I have heard that word. I know how that sounds. I don't know if I've ever seen it written, though. Are all magicians like this? Apollo, what's that look just now? I was thinking how hard it is to get any information out of a magician. Also weird he's not remarking on his own magic show. Not even a big word, I'm just not good with weird words. Say, so, a journalist was here on a story? All eyes in the universe are upon my stage, all pens seek to commit its mystery to paper. His name was Brushel. Brushel. Brushy. I think he remembers him. Doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel, that cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Tell us more about him. What did he want? Okay. Man by that name called on me just now. Valen's vision is always toward tomorrow. Valen's feet step always forward. That is all. That's all. Very confusing. I am to form a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to cover it. Yet he had ears only for that incident. In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Gramarye. Uncle Valen, do you know where the reporter went? I recommended he visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. The detention center? He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability, I will tear apart him. Oh, here comes Apollo, Uncle Valen's big magic trick. I gotta fix the card. Not sure that qualifies as big magic. What happened to the big magic? Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? Does it really not like that journalist? Well, I guess I'm scrapping this. Now the time has come when I must return to make my... By your leave, Miss Trucy. Gonna skip his darn giant words. I'm not gonna try to embarrass myself like that. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. So I'm guessing the finale's gonna be his magic show. What do you think that journalist was after? Why did Valent react like this to this envelope? Give the detention center another visit. Okay. That guy painting the blue badger? Can I look at the guy painting the blue badger? Okay. Take a look at the blue badger. Hey, that creature there. He was handing out balloons during our last case, too. Is he the real murderer? Not a creature, Apollo. Poor guy. Was I mean somehow? You know how hot it is inside one of those suits? He's stuck there with only a smell of his own sweat to keep him company. On the verge of passing out, he hands out each balloon as though it were his last. Kinda takes the fun out of seeing Blue Badger. Alright, see ya, Dragon. Good night. And what, do I know this guy? Is that Larry? Better not be Larry. He is alone. But Larry wouldn't stick to something for 7 years. He's also wearing pink. That's Phoenix's thing. His job. Does have a beret, though. I guess it's probably just a cameo. Unless we actually talk to him. But Larry's sticking to that for 7 years? That's suspicious. Oh, hey Phoenix, you're actually still here. That's surprising. Barrett, beret, whatever. Think I hear what you're saying. All doing it for the money, end quote. No, not at all. Maybe he really liked. He was actually pretty okay with it, so I don't know. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? That actually was his face. Why does he have a brush in his pocket? He has one of those quills, too. I wonder if that's a clue. Hey there, how's it going? Who might you be? Love his theme and that's it? Oh no. Ah, sorry, we didn't know someone was already here. I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You're Justice? You? You know me? Do I know you? Of course I know you! Stares down the witnesses on the stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing? Why is he writing on his hand? Or his arm, rather. Why does he keep looking at me and nodding? I can see why you don't like this guy. Are you a reporter by any chance? Whoa, you're Trucy! Am I famous? Oh yeah. Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her poli. End quote. That's so not true. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So, guard, think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What could I possibly need? What else could I possibly need? End quote. How many times do I have to tell you this? I don't sit here guarding this door. This guard's guarding me. Or this door's guarding me. Look, I got work to do. You deal with them. Did you come here just to interview the guard? Ooh-wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk. Had to go interview someone or go plumb crazy. End quote. Should have guessed. Where are my manners? Name Brushel. Spark Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes his eyes. Writes, end quote. What's this nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins? Till you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through a crossroads of mayhem, madness? End quote. I can see that. Writing something again. There's no way his arm is not covered in ink. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. Next game? Does that mean this guy appears again? Hope not. But it seems like he's gonna be a major player here. What happened to not being allowed to talk to people, by the way? So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Ah, me? Let me state one more thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer, you understand, yes? I'm the one asking the questions here. End quote. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly. I knew you'd understand. Huh? So, the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio? Oh, me? Look, let me stay on the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy, real busy, always on the road. A journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back. End quote. Oh, okay. I understand the philosophy, but you want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you had to give them to the guy at the airport. True enough. Don't they give normal tickets anyway, too? Exactly, see? That's the thing. What is? Okay, I have the feeling I have to show him something. Never mind. I don't have that paper anymore. Figure I could show him his card ripped up and he'll be like, wow, who did that? So, you went to do a story of Drew Misham, and he never had a story done about him before? That's right. Look, let me state one thing for the record here. What? I'm sure you're gonna want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why do the interview in the first place? Well, yes. Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it. Say there's a burger joint with a fabulous ketchup. There is. Think the burger guy's gonna tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, maybe? Exactly, see? That's what I'm talking about. I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's one thing I could talk about, really. Walls have ears. Eyes, especially glass walls with speakers. End quote. Right, guess we'll leave then. But since you're here anyways, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I just saw. Just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us. Just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I seen a movie on a trip. Wandered in this burger place with amazing ketchup. Everything he just referenced was actually something he did. When an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery. End quote. I believe it was. Did his nose just explode for a second? What was that? Happens every day, right? I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Oh, his nose did explode. Why? Guess something stuck in his... that's the first one, so if you haven't played that, you probably should. Because, I mean, you're missing a lot of context here. Someone stole an oil painting of a giant peach. Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers. End quote. Okay, well, I guess I'll just show him this painting I stole. Was it this one? Ah, right, let me go on the record here. Yes? I know what you're gonna say. Rushel, take this, write brilliant column. End quote. I don't think so. Look, buddy, I write brilliant columns about one thing, and that's food. Try to understand. What could he possibly be writing? He didn't listen to a word I said. Okay. Figured showing him the thing would be enough, but... You recognize this? Nope. Well, this guy definitely strikes me as the guy that's not gonna talk to me, so I'm out. Hey, Phoenix, how's it going? Okay, I guess there was something I could show him, because there's nothing else around right now. Let's go to Drew's studio. Aha! Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? What's with the I know something but I'm not telling you face you got going on, Emma? Oh, harsh. Was there something I need to ask her? I don't remember. This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yeah, so? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. A forger? Interesting. What exactly is a forger? Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes. Copies of the original. You don't have to keep going. Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. Oh, why not just photocopy them? Big problem with forgeries, that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. Oh, I get it. He drew a sham. He's a sham artist. His drawings are shams. I get it. A criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in the front of the mirror before you're gonna go on stage. Gee, lagged there for a second. Not in the case of forgery, not necessarily anyway. Oh, okay. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all? Oh yeah, guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's underneath the paint of the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really need to go to such lengths, seeing as one of the paintings was only half finished anyways. Still, it'd be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kinda like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True, that would be interesting. Maybe valuable for our case. You try buttering up, Apollo. Glider will get you everywhere, they say. Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Of course. One day she's gonna explode from all the flattery. Kinda wanted to see the rough sketch under this painting. I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine, fine. Just this one time, though. Let's check it out. Oh. Okay, I guess we're going over all of them then. Do-do-do. What a silly minigame. There we go. Oh, whoops. Guy standing on a tower? Okay, let's print this one out. What? What the heck? Wow, he really blows. Finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. Probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted just for the rough. To do for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, traces of the charcoal between the paint and the canvas. They could tell if there had been a rough sketch. But not what it looked like. Think I follow you? So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath this finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely. Then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Misham was drawing whatever he wanted to before the painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about that sketch itself is kind of odd. Awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. Think you check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure. You like the detective stuff, don't you? I mean, yeah, they are pretty neat. Scientifically speaking, they are pretty neat. Go. Good thing it makes a little jingle whenever I'm done. Some of these are pretty hard to see. Is this? That's actually a really good rough. The guy's playing cards? Okay, let's print this one out. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. I can just look at the last of these. Fine by me. Knock yourself out. Now for the fish. Like, he may have been a sham, but he was still a good artist, apparently. A house? Okay, let's print this out. No, it looks like a cart? That's Eldoon's noodles? That'd be weird. What the heck is all this? Hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. Your device isn't leaving some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Are they all from the cases? Don't you notice anything? Has he been writing our entire history? Drawing our entire history? There. Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are the 3 cases I worked on. What? Murder in the poker room with the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then... events that transpired during the Gaviniers concert. What the heck? What could it mean? How could he have painted those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, is Drew Mesham your father? Give me a break. Does that even seem remotely possible to you? Never even heard of any Drew Mesham before. Hadn't even seen a picture of him. There were my cases drawn on this canvas. Every single one of them. Couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Mesham? And what did he have to do with me? He's not Apollo's father? I don't believe it. The only thing that makes sense to me is Phoenix would have had to have told him. Which could mean that this guy's not even dead. Could all be a setup. But anyways, I think our goal here today is going to be get through this. They both look ridiculous. I don't know, his hair is different, and this girl looks fine. I think Apollo would know his own sister. Or half-sister? I don't know. Anyways. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W, but not right, right? I wonder how many times she has to say that. We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please. Good morning. She speaks. She's spoken to you before. Not bad, not bad. I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know? Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. I don't think you can talk, Apollo. Thank you for taking my case. Why is there a space there? The adorable bear she has. Okay, well that's a start, I guess. Now she's doing her nails? There she goes with the nail polish again. Is that what that is? Looks like a glove to me. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Why did she draw it again? She already drew it. You don't redraw the same drawing. Want to try? Ooh, really? Girls. Wow, Apollo. Rude. The victim, Drew Mesham, was a forger, and the stolen painting was found in his studio. Life of crime, really. Maybe one that led to his death. Number 3. Huh. Didn't really expect... we will now begin the trial of Vera Masham. Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking all around all nervous like. Repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is a test of the jury system. Also, hello, this is the first time I have appeared in this case, and the first step towards a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission. The jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? Because we could not animate them appropriately for this trial. The 3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires, including me punching this wall, where a camera happens to be. Jurists, judge well and judge cool. Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that, except for the cool part. My apologies, Herr Judge. Jurist, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind. Jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. We're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. Details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter Drew Masham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned by whom, you ask? By none other than his defendant. By the defendant, Vera Masham. Objection. Right away. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Ouch, tongue. Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The court accepts this as evidence. I should have had this before, but whatever. I never have it before. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine? I don't know how to say that exactly. Poisoning. I'm going to read that myself. Let's see. He's 8:52. I probably could have read that earlier. October 6th, so I guess that means it's October 7th. Cause of death, poisoning. Interesting, interesting. A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 mg. Like OMG. A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe, strangling you slowly, and then beheading. Because it isn't a real word? It's not a real poison? Interesting. I expected them to actually use a real poison. Anyways. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. A journalist, no doubt. Ah, at least it's actually based on something. I mean, that's not really too surprising. The witness will state his name and occupation. And stop his nose from exploding. Ah, right. Well, for starters, my name's Spark Bushel. My job is a lone observer of the world, end quote. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? If you don't mind, I'd like to say something here for the record. Yes, Mr. Bushel? I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping to the aspect of conclusions. Preconceptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste, end quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today as a man with a dream. I offer you my testimony in exchange for the exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Bushel into that Mr. Bushel. End quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? Simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Pain flashbacks. Well, this guy does seem like a pain. I visited the studio around 9 that night, I think, to do the interview. First outsider to enter the atelier? I don't know how to say that word. Journalistic history made, end quote. You don't have to end your own quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after he started. And you know what happened next. Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. It does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. What are you saying, Judge? Ahem. Need I remind you the cameras are rolling today? I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even compensatory witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations rock courtroom, end quote. We probably should not have brought this guy as the first witness. Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. So happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. We just make this guy guilty? I mean, maybe. Oh, look, I get my special bracelet power. Hold it! 9 at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview? I'm the great painter Drew Misham says come at 9. Believe you me, I go at 9. The first, and as it turned out, last interview was such a prolific painter. Right, can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? End quote. You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio? Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all of mankind, but a giant step for that Brochelle guy, end quote. If no one on the outside had ever had access to the studio, then it would serve no to reason that the deed was done by an insider. By which he means Vera did it. So how did this e-poach making interview go? Poach? Held it. Would you mind being a little more specific? Oh wee, let me tell you, I enjoy Kappa. In fact, it all began when I was 3rd grade. No wait, 4th grade. That's not what I meant. I believe I know what Air 4-Head is driving at. The coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it? Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really. Well, now if you got a question to ask, you best straight up ask. That's why I tell all the new recruits several times, if necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only... Who touched the coffee? Dunno. I was in the back looking at studio equipment when she served it. And what happened next? What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money over. Zowie, you didn't know? That's a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls, get it? But there's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter? Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff. How about that star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know. Star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you can go with the Drew dies, straight to the point. I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. Woman of death, Brushill's coffee, the star's coffee. About when Mr. Misham passed away. Oh boy, what a scene that was. Put his coffee mug down with a crash, right? Yes, and then? Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame splutters and fails. So cold was that touch, he couldn't do naught but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, Life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go. I think he's starting his little article already. Could you describe that a little more simply? Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Our seizure is final performance. End quote. Artequin paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches back like a bow, the limbs tremble, the throat burns. That's quite enough of that. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight. Oh yeah? Well, I want details. Lots of juicy details. For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single, Atroquinine by Love, by the Gavineers, available at all major music outlets. And then he turns and winks at the camera. The point here is that the victim died of atroquinine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony? Very important. Well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony. Court requests the witness add the account to his testimony. Definitely death by poison. Is that what they were going with? I mean, I guess. Yes, I am. say it was definitely death by poison. How can you be so sure? Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things. Had more than my share of experience with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish. Goes bye-bye. End quote. Food poisoning doesn't count. Should I get him to talk about something else? Stars coffee? Hey, Mr. Mashama had the coffee too. But did you actually see him drink the coffee? Of course. He who sees it wins. But he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. Yet? I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip of that. Man puts lips to mug, drinks, end quote. That poison is quite virulent to hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault. Since I gulped down that coffee with so much as a second glance at it, maybe something's there. Maybe some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record? Does this guy have a pause button? No. Moment does this? Did you find the testimony valuable? Did we? I don't know, can we scan for fingerprints? I guess? Oh yes, you can go to press with that one. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information, I guess. Please add to the testimony. Very well, the witness will add this to his testimony. Vital, right. You know, he's kind of a butt, but at the very least, he's very, like, forthcoming with information. At least now he is. So he either took a sip or he didn't, and then fell over. Oh yes, indubitably. Just like that, wham bam. Mr. Masham drank the coffee and fell over immediately. I think Brochel's telling the truth, too. Should I get him to talk about something else? The thing is, I know it takes like 15 minutes for that to work, right? Oh, we actually have these things, cool. But I don't have anything that actually says that. You drank the coffee that Vera served you, too. Of course. When someone serves you coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say anyways. Never to get what he meant by that, though. But you're still alive, which is to say you didn't die. Of course not. No point falling before you're a star, end quote. That's not exactly what I was getting at. What were you getting at, then? You know the poison was on the rim, not the coffee. Ah, yes. There were 2 cups on the tray she brought. And one of the cups had Drew's signature printed on the side. No chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess. Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important? I guess. I'm gonna see what he says. How about the coffee the witness drank? Say it's important. Very well, please add to your testimony along with everything else, I guess. Drank the coffee too, but I'm not dead yet. Are you sure? You're sure you drank the coffee? Oh yes, quite. I gulped it down. Felt that sweet scorch in my throat. But you say the victim took 1 sip and fell over, and you still kept drinking. Of course. Drink your coffee when it's hot, never when it's not. That's what my old bosses used to say. Never really knew what he meant by it. Can I get him to talk about something else? I really don't know. What a pretty business card. Looks like a postcard almost. On the back, just her name. That seems odd to me. Why write your name on the front and the back of the card? Why not use space on the back for self-portrait or caricature? And people would remember what you look like too. That's what the other guy did. It's actually not a bad not a bad idea actually. Here, give me one of your cards, Apollo. Drawing something. Hey, my hair's not that spiky. Wow. Can you say that for sure? For sure? Sure, I'm sure. Your studio is in a big place, kiddo. If I knew someone else had come in, or I'd know if someone else came in, well, if they'd been hiding there from before. Objection. Even if someone had been hiding there in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing. You think I, Sparkbrusher, would miss something as obvious as that? No way. Everybody's a silent sighting, I guess. I guess that's his job. Only one moment we need to focus on, really. The moment when Drew died. Must be something there. So I guess that's true, we need to focus on when he died. So it would be when he took a sip of the coffee. I think it was this one. Blah blah blah. Very important. It's always weird when the music cuts out. Final, right. One sip, if that, next moment he was on the floor. I really don't know what to go with here, guys. It's probably pretty obvious, too. Atroquinine. I do have full life, doesn't mean I want to lose it though. Just because I have full life doesn't mean I should use it. Doesn't mean I should stab myself in the arm just because I know I can grow my arm back or something. I should try to find what is best. I just don't know what exactly says that the poison doesn't last, or only lasts 15 minutes or whatever. That's what Emma said, at least. I'm glad we can look at that. That's cool. Glad we can't actually take that with us. That'd be weird. Whoops. Wrong button. Does? Blah, 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 blah. That didn't go so well. Well, maybe there's something I haven't examined yet. See that there? That's poison. Don't lick it, Apollo. Don't worry, I'll be fine. No, you won't. You'll die. I know. I mean, I won't lick it. Who knows what you do when I'm not watching? Concern is touching, really. Next thing you know, she'll be telling me not to drink coffee before bedtime. Well, I took a stab at it, and I'm not really sure. There's nothing here that really says that. Whoa. Wrong thing. Like half hidden by the oil painting. I never understand artists. Still, it's impressive. Wouldn't think you could hide such a dark sketch under a little paint. Well, it's called oil paint for a reason. But it's pretty oily. The paint, I mean. Still waiting for you to get to your point. Wow. Oh, maybe there is something on the back of these. Nope. Okay, nothing. Well, what do we have here? Looks like a person thinking about something. Maybe they're worried. Like, what should I have for supper? A hot dog or a hamburger? Definitely not a hot dog. You know, I've always wondered about that. Why is there supper and dinner? Are they different meals or the same thing? Maybe that's what this person's thinking about. Okay. They have the most innocent conversations sometimes. Darn it, stupid game. Is that a pufferfish? Apollo, that's clearly a porcupine fish. They're not the same thing? You know what gets me? There are all these needles, right? But what's protecting that soft spot they have in the on their lower belly there? Nothing. Must remember to keep Trucy away from small, round fish. Does seem like she would pet it. Yeah, I got nothing. This is not the first time this has happened. Let's see. One sip, if that. Next thing's on the floor. Whoa, what happened here? I click on Twitch for a second, notice that my icon is missing. That's weird. There we go, now it's back. Awkward. Very awkward. Yeah, I have no idea what we're doing here. Let's see. Like, I don't have anything that says, hey, poison, you know, it takes a bit longer than that, as far as I know. Oh wait, there it is. Darn it. There we go. Yeah. That's what I get for not reading it completely. Figured it was talking about the actual poison on it. Oh well. You know what I have a problem with? Particular property of poison used erythroquinine. Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. Lethal doses of 0.002 mg paralyzes the central nervous system. Whoa. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile of... Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission from Prosecutor Gavin's information. An omission? Erythroquinine is virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon indigestion, not immediately. That's because it's slow acting. What? According to the one forensic scientist, one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes for the time of ingestion for the adverse effects to show. He supposed the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, that he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? What the defense says is correct. Why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard. Well, Mr. Michelle, anything to say on the record? Slow acting. S-L-O-W-A-C-T. It was virulent, alright. Even then, it had already begun digging its claw into the journalists. Working on his scoop. Objection! It's Bruchel, ja? Herr Bruchel, let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was a not-so-subliminal suggestion. End quote. I admit it does cause a problem if he died when you said he died. I would be forced to say to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? As the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop. Scoop. Don't brush your tongue, that's weird. Look, wait, just wait a second. Wait 1 second. We're waiting out with it. I think I just caught a so-called important detail. The revival of recollection, end quote. A story's survival, end quote. Attorney utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushell. Are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened? You bet I am. The antidote for poison is contradiction? End quote, you might say. Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. Just now. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. Order in the court. As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Masham died the instant after he took a drink. Of course I'm standing by my testimony, and my dream of exclusive rights to this story. Ack. No problem. Have a good time cooking dinner. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Phoenix Wright, who else? Arch tongue, Brushell. Report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed? Court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. Okay. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Masham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note? A suicide note? Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face is indescribable as quadratic equation. End quote. Every witness is just Phoenix Wright wearing an elaborate disguise, huh? Is Trucy also Phoenix Wright? But that means Vera's innocent. Someone commits suicide in the middle of an interview? Yes. Oh. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Also, we know that what the note is, I guess. At his desk, I don't care about that. So he put the letter away when he saw you? Early reporter gets the worm, end quote. That's my secret. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrived 15 minutes ahead of schedule. Handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really? Mr. Masham seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope so fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one. That seems significant. Well, Mr. Justice? Add to testimony, I guess? Let's find this testimony vital, Your Honor, I guess. Please add to your testimony, then. Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. The yellow envelope, I heard it was left at the crime scene. Okay. As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk drawer at the scene. It was in a red envelope. What? Oh, jeez. That was scary. Prosecutor Gavin, yes? Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no. But Air Forehead, it's easy to mistake the color of an envelope. I guess, but not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Brushell? I can explain that. True, right? He wanted to get that letter in an envelope, pronto. Get out of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away. And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump? Wow. Have anything to say to the witness claim? That night, the victim put the letter he had been writing in a red envelope. It's impossible? That's impossible. Ah, I like your expression. So full of confidence. It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of forensic scientists. What? Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. Ow! Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped! Oh geez, he looks worse from behind. That's saying something. Can you explain this to the court? His neck didn't seem that thin, but when you saw him from behind, it was like super thin. Oh my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots. End quote. I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Bichelle. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put this letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yeah, stamp. So-called postage stamp. End quote. A stamp? Whatever for. Well, the mail's letter. What else? Then why, yes, I think I saw him put the letter in his box. Yes, it was a yellow envelope. And he put it in that box. Well, we can say it's empty. No, apparently it's... Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story. Star writes suicide note in front of reporter. False. End quote. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor, makes me wonder about the contents of what that red envelope. I guess we're going to show him the print instead of just, you know, taking it out and reading it. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. So this was from 7 years ago, Ja? So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, you know, going home to start writing. Why are you snapping your fingers? I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, rather unique face. Ah, come on! Attorney has an active imagination. Little else. End quote. Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. And they weren't something to begin with. You know, I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge has active imagination. End quote. Well, don't do it, Apollo. Don't give in to the darkness. Please continue with your testimony. Tell about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking questions here. Usually. Took a bit of a time to get thumbs up for the interview. Reporter leverages story gets his interview. End quote. Story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. Red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. 7 years ago, huh? Trying to go with the press with this story? That's how you got your interview? Blackmail? Well, yes. I mean, no. No. It wasn't exactly black. I mean, I'm not, something wrong, Mr. Bichelle? Look, this is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood. End quote. I see. Why you have me chatting away here? What's going on out there? What if someone, Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper, gets the win of my story? I expect both of those to be names at some point. They could be going to press while I'm going to waste. Court feels your pain, Mr. Bichelle. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace. Certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago. So if this was set up, that means it's linking to a bigger plot. Oh, we get to do bracelet stuff. Maybe it's something to do with Mr. Misham's art. don't see anything jumping out at me. I probably saw it too and just didn't notice. Did your face change at all? No, doesn't seem like it. Not moving the brush either. One more time. Say what you will. Okay, doesn't look like it's gonna be anything here. I guess that part, him having talent is not a lie. It says the same thing again. Maybe it's this one where he's hitting himself? No, it doesn't seem like it. Wait. I guess I should probably press this. Not like I can't get more information. A certain case 7 years ago? Tell us, what case? Let me state one thing, Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case. Why not? It's about journalistic pride, and stodginess, and credibility, and connections. Journalist reveals sources only over his dead body, end quote. So what'll it be? Gonna strangle me? Dead men don't tell tales, Mr. Attorney. Sounds pretty determined not to talk. Yeah, that's true. So maybe this one. Only one end of your story and the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related? Oh, I was just saying it's possible. Call it reporter's intuition, end quote. Hey, I say a lot of things. You gotta pick all of them apart, be my guest. All of them? No, just incredibly suspicious ones. I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Basham? Okay, so it's gotta be that one. He was pretty jumpy with that one. Seeing his face up close is pretty horrifying, though. Doesn't seem to be swallowing or anything. Don't see anything wrong with his eyebrows either. One more time. It is pretty creepy. Nope, doesn't seem to be... He seems to know something, but he's not telling us. Not giving away tales about it. Did I press this one? It's how amazing was Mr. Basham's talent. Huh? Ooh-wee boy. I mean, hey, he was a star, man, a star. Flow of his brushes like a great undulating river across the canvas. Artist paint lights up a studio like sun, end quote. It's full of wacky gestures. That one actually was wackier than usual. So, got nervous to me. I thought it was that one. Time to bring you know what. Makes sense. I thought it was that one, but I didn't notice anything. Maybe he moves his nose? His nose usually does seem to be the telltale for what he's doing. No, not seeing anything. They're a bit cruel, so it's gotta be something super small, huh? Something very tiny. Just notice his hair is also a brush. That's kind of sad. Maybe it's his eyebrows. Eyebrows are the windows to expressions. Something like that. Nope, nothing there. Not seeing any movement. Maybe his mouth changes? Nope, that seems to be the same animation, I think. It's probably another obvious thing I'm just not getting. Maybe his ears twitch. Probably not that one, it's got a pin on it. Thought I saw something. This must be very tiring for Apollo. You know? Having to deal with this constant feeling of his bracelet in his eye. I wonder if that'll be a plot point at some point. If he just like gets super exhausted when he has to keep doing it or something. Well, I don't know if the witness is actually doing that. Something like his arm over here is moving? See anything? I don't like that, perhaps. Alright, I got nothing. I can't just, like, not do this? It must be on a different one. Unless I need to press all of his things. I guess we'll go back and do that. Victim Drew Misham had an aversion to reporters. Boy, I guess. Not even my considerable charms did much for him. Until I finally got the thumbs up, that is. Maybe you can elaborate a bit more for us. 1 second away, huh? There's something at the end? Oh, I'm out of water. No, I don't think so. Oops, didn't mean to press stop. Whenever I press perceive before, it usually just goes gotcha. So, you know. I don't really know what I'm looking for. His hands aren't moving. I'm not seeing any movement from his neck. Guess I should probably stop using everybody else as a comparison. Let's see. Nothing there. We think the brush would be it. The most obvious part about him, I guess. 'Cause, 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 Maybe his tie? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm looking for, guys. It would help if it didn't have this weird, like, techno stuff at the side, too. It's like throwing me off a little bit, because I can't see everything precisely. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. I haven't minded them so far. Like, even this one is just me not being, you know, good. I just don't see any, like, major movement. Anything he does, it's just his mouth moving as far as I can tell. This is his shoulders? His shoulders shake or something? Wouldn't exactly be surprised. No? Also has very creepy, spooky music. Nope, nothing there. Well, it's gonna be great when I figure it out. Eventually. Let's see, what do you do? Nothing I can see on the actual sprite, so it's nothing he's doing there. Something small. Goes against the rules presented. What does that even mean? I got nothing. Once again, this guy has thrown me for a blank. Most likely because I'm just not noticing something. I've stayed perfectly still the entire time as well. And I don't see anything moving at all, except for his mouth. Is it his tongue, maybe? Not really seeing any major difference. It looks the same to me every time. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking for. He doesn't even move this arm as far as I can tell. Oop. Nope, I don't see any movement. Like, I am looking for movement, right? If I'm looking for movement, then I'm not seeing anything. I'm technically not looking for movement? Am I looking at his brush not moving then? How he's not hitting himself on the head with it? That doesn't make any sense. More like a reaction. What does that mean? I don't see anything. So... No? On the side of his head. I could have sworn I just saw something above his eyebrow. Does he get like a wrinkle? That'd be pretty amusing. It's very hard to tell because everything's grayscaled. I didn't see anything that time. I know I saw something move. Sorry, we've taken way too much time on this part, I think. Oh, it does pause, at the very least. I don't see anything. Is this where I need to go? Because I saw something move. I just can't see it on this grayscale. Oh, I hope I had my glasses, huh? Below the head? Oh yeah, I can. So Sivio was right, you can move around. Interesting. I never bothered because I always just pressed confirmed. On the neck? I've never had to bother with it, so I never bothered. So, on the neck? I didn't see anything. Excuse me, puzzle princess. I'm no good at these kind of things. Okay. Now that we know we can do that, I know it's this part too. Gotta be around here. What am I looking for? Below the head. Looking for any kind of movement, right? His arms, maybe? The jurist must be eating this up. Why is that kid just staring really intently at that really weird brush guy? This is getting really weird, guys. What's with that stupid music? Eh. Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. Like, I don't really know what this guy is supposed to look like. I guess I can compare him to the sprite up there, huh? I don't know what seems out of place. Isn't that line? I doubt that. It had to be that one. That's where I saw movement, right? As I saw at the end of the previous one. What? This one? That's the only I was doing on the last one. Now you guys are confusing me. Welcome back with food. Why can't you just make it stop? Yep, have not missed much. I'm sorry, guys. Let's freeze frame him on this face for a bit. I don't see anything happening below his head. I apologize, it's probably obvious and I'm dumb. But if it's not on his neck, then I don't see anything. Not nightmares. Oh no. These... I'm just going through them. Okay? You said it wasn't the last line, even though that seemed like the most obvious one. Like, without compare, he literally copied people. That's a lot of comparison. Oh. Well, now the movement seems obvious, and I'm dumb. Gotcha! Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Why? Freezing it definitely helped. Yeah, I got your sweat line.
Finally, Tilda, congrats.
Finally, Tilda, congrats. Thanks for the 100 congrats bits, I guess. Feel good, though. Yeah, well, why? Thanks for the 45 congrats cupcakes. Let that run out.
You did it? Oh.
You did it? Oh. Well, yeah. A man can't help his glands, you know. More than that, when Mr. Masham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. Yak! You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous. Evidence time. I mean, it should have been obvious. I know he sweats a lot. Show where Mr. Masham's true talent lay. Comes I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter. Is it this one? Is it this one, or do they want the stolen one? Probably this one. Yeah, I can't help but wonder what the court is supposed to conclude from this evidence. Other than you made a horrible mistake? Okay, well. Guess it wasn't the fake one, whatever. Wouldn't be too hard, right? So it's the real one? There we go. Don't know why you wouldn't show the fake one first, but whatever. Painting was found in Mr. Masham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is that it isn't painted by Mr. Masham. Second, that is, there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. You know, the one I showed you first. Then we have the letter discussing payment of $100,000, just a certain business operation. Business of making forgeries. Right. And then that is not what you want to freeze frame on. That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone! Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop! Forgery. That's a serious crime. Drew Masham is new as the artist these days, but there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back, whatever. Another art, meaning forgery? Drew Masham was talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. In fact, that certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Hello, Toby, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. That is an adorable Eevee in a sweater. I don't know why it's in a sweater, but it's fine. Criminal elements, what? You can't seriously be talking about... Exactly. Talking about forging evidence. Rumors started circulating 7 years ago. 7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for... Exactly. Forged evidence nets tidy profit, end quote. Order in the court. Why, it's almost like our victim was living a double life. This is my chance. Victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about. Objection. This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation. But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's possibility of illegal activities here. But there's no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was, and remains, simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey! The only thing poisoned is my pen when I'm writing interviews. Or reviews, whatever. Mr. Brochelle, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. Doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism is so solid you could stand an elephant on it. End quote. In any case. Let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, this trial's over. What's he talking about? Cross-examination showed Mr. Rochelle didn't have any reasons or means to poison him. As long as there are no suspects, the killer had to be Vera. That's what. As our testimony is our last chance. Testimony, please. Recap. The only other person that night in the only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. Nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his own daughter. Because, you know, that makes sense. A nice testimony, clear, succinct, and without room for doubt. Aw, shucks. You really think so? Please clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination. Right. I have one trump card left to play. I won't let this trial end until I use it. Little tiny bit of poison, I guess. The defendant, Vera poured the coffee, made him under herself. When I touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. You're sure about that? Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbing mint candies the whole time. One of those candies might have been poisoned. Objection. What? Yet at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found. It was a long shot anyway. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee? Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof. Maybe not prove it, not yet. Possibility isn't gonna cut it, not now. Justice poisoned via route other than that coffee. I can prove it. Proof is possible. Gotta risk it. Oh, excellent. Let's see your proof then. Please show us your evidence. What evidence shows that the victim wasn't poisoned via his coffee mug? I don't have anything, do I? I got the team brand. Yeah, this is definitely a hit, I think. I don't have enough proof yet. Must I explain this over and over again? We don't need possibilities here, Air Forehead. We need proof. I know that. Also know that every proof has its moment. Perhaps you're a little bit early. Victim has nothing to his mouth but cat coffee mug. Another hole in this case that needs plugging before I can prove anything. First things first, better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again. And they didn't hit me, so that won't count as a hit. Not one thing? You sure? Yep, sure as can be. Well, with one exception. One exception, what? Journalist Spark Brushell does interview. Leave studio. End quote. Come on. It's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know, but still. Something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, wow, harsh. We could turn on our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? Just one thing. I think of one thing that very well may have left the studio that night, actually. Certain something has vanished from the crime scene. By which you mean something other than our witness? Of course. Don't tell me. Very Michelle. Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional. Wow. Not a comedian, huh, Apollo? Let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice. Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows it could have been taken from the scene. Put a finger to my forehead. So now I do teeny frame? I guess. I found Prosecutor Gavin more amusing than this guy, really. If that was comic relief, why do I not feel amused? Okay, guess not. I'm like... Oh, okay. I gotcha. This is the only link between the studio and the outside world. They weren't asking what was taken, just how was it taken. Got it. What did Mr. Bruchel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true. Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in the yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah, but that very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night the yellow envelope disappeared. Ah, yes, intriguing. So the envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. Huh? He has a point, Mr. Justice. Trying to figure out how the poison got into Mr. Masham. Is it really important that the envelope was the witness says he saw disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me. Very well then, witness will add this to his testimony. You got it, I guess. I still think this fails to change anything, Air Forehead. I wouldn't be so sure. The letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. Exactly an opening I've been looking for. I guess. Guess we'll press that. Nothing could be more serious than an envelope disappearing from that studio, and you were hiding that fact from us. Well, yes, actually. I don't argue the possibility that a letter disappeared from that studio. But Air Forehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us? Right, how Mr. Bruchel was poisoned, I know. Mr. Bruchel's testimony has changed, which means the facts of the case have too. What he's told us means something entirely different from now, I'm starting to think. Let's keep thinking, Apollo. Oh, whoops, I didn't know that was the end there. If he's super old-fashioned, he probably licked the envelope. That's probably how it got in him. And that's why it would appear on the end of the coffee mug. Sorry, that was a random thought. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud either. Say clearly as though it was obvious. But this claim that the defendant poisoned the victim is merely conjecture. Yes, well, you see, in my business, it's all about making the most ridiculous things sound right. A bad habit, I know. Yes, well, actually, I guess this is more a case of ridiculous journalist sounds wrong, end quote. Of course, forced to agree with you. Please refrain from wild conjecture. Understood, loud and clear. Only I can believe that. What do you think, Apollo? Would this do it? I don't really want to take a hit. But if I presented this envelope, and if that actually says what I think it says enclosed envelope, right? Which means that the envelope was sent to him. If he's still doing his criminal affair thing. So that would matter. Well, I don't want to reset, but I'll take the hit, I guess. But is it actually accurate? It's like you could send the poison through the envelope, knowing that he would lick it. In order to do this. What does it actually say? Sign the papers and send the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days? I think that's a 3. It's hard to make out. This darn tape over top of it. I don't know. I guess we'll go for it. Why not? I already saved. Nope. Okay, maybe not. Nothing on here, right? Yeah, that's just Vera's business card. Hardly see why that matters. Do the teeny frame? No. Nothing there. As far as I know, at least. He told us means something entirely different now, I'm starting to think. Maybe there's something else I need to press? Ah! I get it. Sure about that? Now I get what they're going for here. That's why they were saying, oh, maybe you're a little bit too early. Which one do I can prove it. There's nothing. I was thinking too much about the tiny thing being for this part. Of course. And Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. What did you say? The stutter in my voice never quite fits with the expression I'm giving you. I proved the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter, I did. Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course. Which means that envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp. Ah. As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it. By licking the stamp. Okay. Didn't even need evidence. They were just like, okay. Pit. No one would talking about actually lick stamps in this day and age. Objection, this guy was an old-timer. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you could. He's dead, after all. Okay, so he licked the stamp. But how? Wait. How does that explain the atroquinine on the rim of the coffee mug? If he licked the back of a poisoned stamp, the poison would get onto his tongue, yes? What would then happen if you took the coffee mug to his mouth, Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing, it was the other way around. The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Basham. Mr. Basham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Whoa. That poor innocent coffee mug. But that does it? Recall, if you would, the slow-acting poison, yeah? Poison in his body when he put the stamp on that envelope, but his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lip to that cup of joe. Why are they, why is it? You have something to add, Mr. Burchell? Or is it picking up another scent? As I believe I mentioned earlier. That's the thing, see? After he put a letter in the envelope, Mr. Basham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. He has a stamp, so-called postage stamp, end quote. I quoted that, you know? But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one. Maybe he just run out? Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one. It does pose a problem, but now that means the tiny thing is actually a stamp placer, I guess. How do you prove that the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. Makes proving that the stamp he used was poison possible. Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where is your evidence that proves the existence of the poison stamp? Well, that certainly is a cute little frame, and by little I mean really little. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection, so what? Apparently you weren't observant as you should have been. Wow, harsh. You see, when you saw this little frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? A pale bluish stain in the middle of the inside of the frame. The residue of the poison. What? Why wasn't I told about this? Because I am the one that found it. And I don't tell you anything. Hello, Purple Fire. How's it going? Hope you're having a good night. Welcome to the stream where I need more water. The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You aren't saying. Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? Hopes and dreams? A commemorative... I can't talk. Stamp, perhaps? I know how to say that word. I just don't remember how to actually make my mouth make that sound. Anyways. Poison stamp was in this frame? Impossible. Prosecutor Gavin. Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it in there so he could commit suicide if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see? What, Mr. Burchell? Please stop jitting around like that. Beckham was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him. Punch this wall after I play a sick guitar solo. Oh, Rich, that's Rich. Leave the ridiculous flights and fancy of the Gavinier song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? Oh, I disagree. Come again. Is he gonna be cool again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Masham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. Mail. It was the mailman. Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that the poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. Might not have evidence per se, but things are finally starting to come together. What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed. Fill us in, Mr. Justice. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. I guess now I do the red envelope? Just in case. I don't really want to reset if I die, even though I have 2 hits left. Isn't this the envelope? Okay, thought so. 7 years ago? Think about the text of this letter again. You know, even though we've only read it once. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This page 1. There we go. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. It was at 3. I was right. Most fulfilling thing I've done all day. Other than that combo run, I guess. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, end quote. What if he had not done exactly the letter it asked? He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in the letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking when the time came. He drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. Such a splendid imagination you have, Air Forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside the envelope from 7 years ago, yeah? Is that what you have led us to believe, really? What? Well, a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope? A stamp that became the murder weapon? How do you intend to prove the seeming coincidence? Well, 7 years ago, we don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to... Nice to pick on the Fraulein, Lavier. What? Oh. Okay. Bait and switch right there. That was weird. Hi, Emma. How's it going? Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like him? Probably. Maybe. I didn't know who it was, so I didn't do the voice. But also, that's kind of messed up. He's in jail. Don't quit your day job. Wow. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective? Someone had to come and dig you out of the mess you're making of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would have happened if you just trusted in science a little more. You could find out if that stamp was in the envelope. Easy. Care to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right. The poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once that we apparently stole. You can open it on the authority of the court. Oh. Oh, there it is. Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's a stamp. Also, it's poison residue, but whatever. I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last. Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Sham figured it out. Figured what out? He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with the different stamp. And put this decisive evidence in a frame. And then forgot? That's pretty messed up. You're still here. Can I make a statement here, on the record? I, Spark Razortooth Rochelle, Razortooth? Claim this scoop is mine. Drew Masham killed in cold blood by sender of 7-year-old letter, end quote. No, maybe something more 16. Star follows after 7-year delay, end quote. Order in the court. I see no room for further argument here, though I admit this is all becoming quite a shock. I think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp is a ticket straight to afterlife, end quote. Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge. Every witness is a bad influence on this judge. I see no need to further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly be our defendant. Apollo, I think we just won. That was quick. Court's finding the defendant. Objection. Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor Gavin. A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago? Tickets for Gavinier's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. Doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Air Forehead's claim. Contradiction? Poison stamp was placed in the envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that is the case, then why would Drew Masham have done what he did? It may explain that. He must have realized it was poison. Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Masham sensed the trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? That's what I was asking. Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Masham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon in the frame of his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he's spraying the trap on himself? Well, I mean, the only thing that could have happened is this guy picked it up, the stamp fell out, and then Masham was like, oh, hey, there's a stamp. Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Probably should have thrown it away. I mean, in retrospect. I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you, Air Forehead. Objection. Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in the envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. Now that's not... What about the poison residue, huh? Oh, I agree, that does seem to be poison residue. But Air Forehead, it's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Masham never would have used it. That is all. We've come to a conclusion, again. Apollo, we're wrong the whole time? Can't believe it. Poison traces match up, it can't be a coincidence. I'd like to bring closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Masham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison on the document inside the envelope. Similar traces also found at the crime scene on this teeny picture frame. Defenses indicated a possibility of a yellow envelope. Envelope left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if this envelope contained the poison stamp and Drew Masham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case, kind of. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. Traces of the poison, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Masham's mysterious death, they're all connected somehow. Moment of justice, do you have a conclusion for us? Defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be fake. Ah, fake clue. Fascinating. If we were to find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, Ja. The fake clue that will throw us off the poison's trail is none other than... I mean, I honestly kind of want to say Drew Masham just to see what happens. Should I do it? I feel like it's probably the frame, right? one of these things just isn't... It doesn't make any sense. I want to say it just because, you know, it's... I don't think we're going to get hit by this, and even if we do, whatever. It's funny. That the victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain, I guess. We have the envelope, a frame, a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. Objection! Congratulations, you've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger? Makes a good story, I'll give you that. Fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah! I know that face. That's the face I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again? 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles in the very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake. The guy is actually still alive? Here we are again. The victim was a fake? One forger smelled a trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's 2 forgers, and one of them was fake. Didn't actually... Wasn't 100% sure that would work, but okay. So you're telling us that Drew Masham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was a fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. Afraid you're gonna have to back up your story. Mr. Judge, just show us who the real Drew Masham was. Oh, I see where this is going. Drew Masham wasn't the real forger. There's only one person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor? Forger Drew Masham was himself a forgery. The real forger was... Vera. Only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Masham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Masham. She was the real sham the whole time. Order in the court. Mr. Justice, this is going on a limb even for you. Kinda agree, I mean Vera, forger? Let's consider it before you write off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This could only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing, only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Masham's and Vera Masham's. If we know that Drew Masham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Masham. Well, fascinating. Well, I guess that's one word for it. Hi, how's it going? Vera Masham? You've been paying attention to the trial so far. I mean, I guess. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Masham? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? Staring holes in the prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Frauleins, believe me, though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. Oh. Oh, really? That's pretty clever on their part. So the forger Drew Masham was you? Stop drawing that. Okay, thank you. Yes, it was me. That's actually like the first clever pun I've gotten so far. I mean, some of them are clever. I guess that's unfair. The court was an upward and wasn't coming down. We had to break for 10-minute recess. Oh yeah, 10-minute recess, which will be continued later. Been live for 3 hours? That was 3 hours long, jeez. It was the first one that comes to mind as like being super clever. I'm sure the other ones were clever, but that was the first one. It's like not on the nose, you know? But anyways, it's been 3 hours. I think we'll call it here, guys. And we'll continue the next thing probably tomorrow, maybe. That being said, for tomorrow, I'm not sure what we'll do. How much is that terrible perceived segment? I don't know, probably like a half hour. It still is on the nose, but it's in another language nose. And for this game, that's pretty important, I think. Only Maya and Mia really come to mind. Well, and Pearls, I guess. Everyone in the Fae family comes to mind with the whole spirit thing. Yeah, I suppose it is. Yes? For this game, yes. Because it's not on the nose, on your face pun. It's not straight at you. It's not like, oh, this guy was a sham, so his last name's Sham. That's just a clever pun, but it's not hidden, on the nose. Anyways, for tomorrow, that's true. But everything was kind of changed over, Like even Phoenix Wright's name is different. So, I mean, that doesn't really matter. Because they changed all the pun names to something else. Like Larry Butts is a butt instead of whatever he was before. And Phoenix Wright is the guy that is always right and he comes back instead of Naruhodo? Hodo? Being IC. It's a different type of joke. I don't know. I got it when it was presented to me, yes. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Approximately 11 hours, huh? I am a little bit up in the air on whether we should get Okami HD tomorrow or the cooking game. I forget the name, Battle Chef Brigade, because I only have enough for one of those. Yeah, but Vera wouldn't have been obvious to me unless it was told to me, Know what to do, huh? But the thing is, I don't want to play Okami if... I get your point, but it's a different thing, because, like, that was given with more... I don't know. It's a dumb argument regardless. Anyways, that is going to be it for tonight. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow with more stuff. But we're done with Phoenix Wright tonight. I'll have to get more water if things are going to make me do those voices. Just because it doesn't mean no one will, doesn't mean it's not more clever than the usual puns they make. No, I didn't say it was. I don't know what the point of this argument is. I don't even know if it's an argument. It's more clever than usual. That was my statement. Anyways. I'm going to go. So I will see you guys later. Have a good night. And thanks for watching, of course. Thanks for all the bits. Sivia, Sanosuke, and Tri, and Dragon, and Blood Silver. Thanks for all the bits, and thanks for joining me. And hopefully this will get wrapped up. Potentially next time, but I don't know. I don't know how long this one is. But we'll see. Anyways. Bye for now. Darn it. Thank you for the 84 bits. It's fairly long, then maybe not next time. Maybe it'll take a little bit longer.
No problem, Tilda.
No problem, Tilda.